We've got the bat flying. I've just liberated him from the light fitting. Yes, because we've got little ceiling lights. You can't see them, but they're up there. So I've had him hooked by the foot on the light fitting for a week because I really didn't want to bash him and end up sort of batting him all over the place. So how are you, everybody? And how the devil have you been doing? We've got a slight, let me just shut this woman up. We've got a slight change of venue today because I realised that after I'd tidied up during my week off, I could now put the tripod in a much better position. So we've not got the cactus to look at and all the clutter on my desk, and we're actually talking to one another. If it gets a little too bright, I'll put the blind down because all at once the sun's come out, which is lovely. It's been a bit dull this morning despite the fact it's quite warm. Let's have a look and see what the temperature says, shall we? Yes, we are not so far off, about 29 I reckon. That is 28, 29, warm. Hence the dress without any sleeves in. So, do you know, it seems like that long since we were sat here last week talking to one another, and the bats are back with our brew at 2 cups, and we've got lots of bats to add to the bat map today. I've just been sat reading you. I've got my laptop on so that I can with my slightly myopic vision, I can see what you're writing. And do you know, I just thought to myself how nice it is that for the sort of 5-10 minutes that you've been waiting for me to appear, to put my teeth in, as Russ said, how nice it is that you've all got to know one another, and it's like a big batty family, isn't it? It's like we're all bats together. It's right nice. It's right nice, it is. But there's always room for another bat. So please, please, please help our channel to grow. Please, if you get the opportunity, tell all your friends that they need to be watching Visit FYLDE Coast, and get everybody to subscribe for our weekly email newsletter. The link to it is in the description underneath the video. And I've just sent today's out, and it's all things illuminations. It's all illuminated. Thank you, June. I just noticed June said that she liked my top. It's not a top actually. I'll stand up and show you. It's a dress. It's a nice, comfy, voluminous dress to sit all comfy. Yes. Land's End. Actually, I've discovered Land's End, ladies. Have a look on their website. Wait while you see my new winter coat. Oh, you'll have hysterics. You'll not know whether I'm Santa, Father Christmas, or possibly working on British Rail, because it's, well, let's put it this way, I'm not going to get wet or cold. It's a cracker, but I'm digressing, aren't I? When I've been looking for winter coats last year, I looked at various different places, and because obviously I was looking for a winter coat in winter, they were all expensive, and I looked at this particular one on Land's End, and I thought, hi Keith, and I thought, oh, I really like that, but I'm not paying that price. Let me just put my fan on. I think I might need that. So would you believe I've got one for less than half price? That's what you get, you see, when you buy them in a heat wave. Top tip, girls, top tip. I'm saying girls because I know all you men have got about as much interest in shopping as Mr. Bat. So, right, anyway, bats. We've got new bat people to add to the bat map today, so we're going to do that first because these are our special brew at 2 cups, these. And slowly I am working my way around to doing some new, in fact, to do some new merchandise, because various different things have been suggested. Somebody, I can't quite remember who it was, I think it might have been John, said, what about some car stickers? And I was going to have a look at doing various different things that proclaimed our collective love of of the FYLDE Coast. So we're on with it. We're on with it. T-Boy is frantically making Christmas cards. I know it just doesn't feel right. It was you, wasn't it, John? It doesn't feel right in the middle of a beautiful sunny day in August to be talking about Christmas cards, but nonetheless, that's what we're doing.
We had a shipping order.
We had a shipping order. We did. So this is our batmap, and we are down to Wales. We are over to Ireland. We are down to Brighton. If I just lift it up a little bit, and we're up all the way to Scotland. I think that one's Senga, actually. So we're spreading. We've got bat cups all over the place. So we've got some more bat people to welcome to the gang. Are you ready? Drum roll and fanfare. We've got Janet from Accrington. We've got Francis from Lytham. And we've got Carl from Merseyside. So I'm going to stick you three lovely people on the map with these lovely shiny pins. So I've already put the pins in because I really didn't want to embarrass myself beyond all measure by not having a clue where anything is. I know where Lytham is. I can find that quite easily, Francis, so don't worry too much. We'll put you down there at the bottom. Oh, we've got Buster in Accrington as well, haven't we? So I could I think we'll put Janet in Accrington near to Buster in Accrington, and perhaps you know one another. Perhaps you might. I'm always careful not to shove these pins straight through and stab myself, because I really don't want to start swearing live on air, because I think there's every chance I might do if I stick a great big drawing pin into my finger with a reasonable amount of force. So that's Carl in, oh, I don't know my own strength. Oh, I bent it. I think I bent quite a few of these actually. It's Carl in Merseyside. And we've got Janet in Accrington. Now, can you see that I'm trying to vary the colours on the thing? So that's Janet. So we'll have, when I've just stuck that in without stabbing myself, oof, all done live on air. We'll have a big round of applause for our new bats. So that's Carl, Francis and Janet. We're nearly joined up, aren't we? We're nearly joined up. And of course, you're all bats because you're watching, aren't you? You're all bats because you're watching. So, joking apart, we are a tidgy little company, us, T-Boy in training when he comes back. So all your support is really gratefully accepted. So things like coffee donations and super chats and mugs and all the rest of it, it helps us to carry on doing all the stuff that you all enjoy. So there you go, big company. Yes, we're massive, Josh, and that's just my waist. Right, so we've got that, we've done the bat map. So news, right, well, yesterday I went to Blackpool, as you perhaps saw if you tried to watch that live broadcast that I did on Blackpool Promenade, or rather the live broadcast I tried to do, because of the internet connection. Sorry, I'm sorry, don't shout at me. You're all shouting at me because I didn't mention Chrissy. Yes, Chrissy's a very valuable rabbit. She's a very valuable member of the community. She's the one who keeps us all on the straight and narrow, I'll tell you. Yes. Yes, Blackpool yesterday morning. Well, number one, it was really busy. Lovely. Really, really nice. Number two, I'd got whiplash by the time I came home from doing that, and I'll not do that because I might fall off my chair, but spinning my head round and looking to see what was new and what was different, because it must be, I reckon it's about 3 or 4 weeks since I went into central Blackpool, and the things that have changed, I didn't know where to look, honestly. There's builders everywhere and things changing and scaffolding and all kinds of different things. So I went and tried to do a live broadcast on the Tower Festival headland outside the tower, and I came to the conclusion I'd struck up at the beach house, and we started walking southwards towards the tower, and all at once the wheels started going round. I thought, oh, aren't we all right here? So I stopped and waited. No, didn't come back on. Couldn't go on the beach because the tide was in. And the only two conclusions I can draw is that the buildings and the tower were sort of diverting the signal, and that everybody on Blackpool seafront must have been using their own Wi-Fi because the internet was just awful. So I abandoned that. Anyway, version 2, pre-recorded without any buffering and a much better quality picture, has been uploaded this morning, so you can watch that tonight. Well, you can watch it when we're finished if you like. You can watch it whenever you want. So I've done a wander through the seafront and all the people and all the illuminations that they're putting up and whatnot. And I happened to mention that I'd got something to tell you at Brew at 2, and June wanted to know if it was something to do with toilets. I've had to take my poo out of my toilet because it was starting to dry up. So I've put it in this little plastic bag while it's still pooey. It's not quite as slimy as it was. But Joan thought it was something to do with toilets. It's nothing to do with toilets. I may need a toilet before I do what I'm going to tell you, because I've had a media invitation. So I saw the email and I thought, oh! Because there's one thing that I've missed, and it's going to all the circus, as I call it. So all the season launches and the opening events and the previews and all the... Oh, Eric says that glycerine will rehydrate my poo. I'll have a go at that, Eric. All the season launches and all the previews and all the openings and everything that is kind of new and opens, that it's always an invitation for everybody to come and have a look at it. And they're really nice events, and everybody gets together and acts a bit giddy and sort of all excited, and it's lovely. So I get this media invitation and I thought, oh, I'm going to be able to go and have a look. I'm going to be able to go and have a look. I'll not tell you what, because that might spoil the surprise, but let's just say I opened the email and I started reading the email, and I read down the page and I thought, ooh, ooh, is it the top of the tower? I'll not tell you what I thought, but it was something to do with that. So I read it and I read it again and I thought, I can't not go. I can't not go, because this whatever it is, you'll be interested, I promise you that. So anyway, I know the girl really well that sent the invite, so I've sent her a reply and said, I'll just say now, I'm not very good with heights, but I want to come, and the video of me going up the lift in the tower will make a hilarious video in its own right. So that's what I'm going to do. That's what my pledge to you. I'm going to strap my toilet to my backside and I'm going to video me going up the tower. And I mean, the funny thing is, this is a media invite, so there'll be BBC and ITV and Cast of Thousands and Gazette and everybody else there. So they'll all be relatively poor-faced, and there'll be me lowering the tone. Here he comes, here he comes.
Hello everybody.
Now, I waited for you to come upstairs before I told them
Why?
the story of Inspector Clueless.
Clueless, I've got a new name.
Yes, he's got a new name.
Better than T-Boy in
He's
Training.
got a new name. Yes, so I'll keep you posted on that. It's in another couple of weeks. But I thought, no, it's not in illumination switch on. But I thought I would. It's actually a breakfast thing, so it's like crack of dawn in the morning. So in my reply to her, I actually said, you never know, if I'm lucky, it might be blowing a gale. You got to cancel it. Kevin's going, well, what do you expect? Josh, he lives with me. He went white a long time ago.
Going bold or white? Or both?
Both. So that's that. So that's to put in your diary. If that's not worth subscribing and hitting that bell for notifications, I don't know what is, because I promise you that'll be funny. Yes, so Blackpool was absolutely packed. I've been up the tower, Gran. I think I was about 9.
I have to say it's gorgeous outside, by the way.
Last time I went up the tower. So T-Boy in Training has been outside sieving his pond filter. It's a daily maintenance job at the moment. And did you know, last week when T-Boy in Training came back in and he said he'd seen a frog? Well, we've got lots of frogs. We've got a frog farm at the moment. So Chrissy's blog that she wrote the other day is about frogs. It's quite worth reading. I would read that.
What's a frog blog?
It's a frog blog. It's a frog blog all about frogs. So I went out and I'm sat there with my camera trying to spy a frog to take a photograph, but they were a little bit shy. They're only that size. They're tiny. So that's that. Right. Inspector Clueless. On to Inspector Clueless. You've obviously gathered, the ones of you that have been following Care for Cleveland's, that we're running a little bit of a battle in society against antisocial behaviour and oiks, as we call them in Yorkshire. Because as fast as community volunteers try to do things, and this is not just us in Cleveland, this is everywhere. As fast as community volunteers manage to do anything about the problems and do things to make a place look nice, then the next thing that happens is that some oik manages to ruin it. Anne, I'm just digressing. Anne's just said, can I have a look in the new shop where W.H. Smith's was? I've been in. So you need to keep watching. It's on the What's New in Blackpool Town Centre video that will be online this week. Just feel that, Anne. Just feel. Yeah, so about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, the vandals had been out and they'd pulled poor Keith. Poor Keith went out watering with the bowser full of water and discovered that there were plants all over the seafront on the footpath. They pulled some of the new plants out of the new pots next to the clock shelter. So poor Keith was, well, somewhat fed up, I think it's fair to say. So I've just seen something that just made me smile. You know how I like Lego? I think I've got the answer to the problem. I think this is what we need, Keith. I think we need to send Tweety Pie in to bash him with his little mallet. With his little mallet like that. This is my little Tweety Pie, this. This is one of those little Lego things out of a little plastic bag. I think Tweety Pie probably killed him with a mallet that big. What do you think? Yeah. Anyway, digression.
Come on, concentrate.
Concentrate. So, Kevin, T-Boy, in training, offered himself up, didn't you, T-Boy? He offered himself up.
They're all one-liners, but I've got to say, I found this and it's got a sale on. Shop sale. No, right, back. Yeah. Next.
Let's hope his policing skills are better than his jokes. Yeah, so he's offered himself up and said that he would like to be the liaison between the police, the council, the authorities and the community in respect of logging incidents and finding out what's happening and what's being done about it, more to the point. Now, T-boy in training might look a bit dim. But in the past, he had a very responsible job, God help us. And when I tell you what the responsible job was, you'll all wince.
It was in the past.
Yes, he used to work at the computer centre for HSBC Bank, which was near where we lived. And I know you're finding this really difficult to, you know, to get together in your mind.
Sorry, I'll just stand in front and then.
So this specimen of brainliness was one of the people who used to keep all of the computer systems running for HSBC Bank, not just in Britain but internationally.
In the world.
In the world, yes.
I'm not working there now.
It was an international. When he left, he was an international incident
manager.
And he'd been there 25, 26 years.
I took some getting rid of.
Now, I know that you're all going to find that really difficult to understand, but let's put it this way. One thing he did learn when he worked at HSBC was how to be quietly persistent. And he gets on the phone sorting a problem out, and I'm not kidding, it makes me wince. I sort of sit there thinking, oh, give it a rest. So, well, let's just put it this way, they'll know that they've got him. So anyway, one of our beach cleaning friends has rechristened him Inspector Clueless. And I think that's a good name for you, Kevin. What do you think?
Yeah, baby.
Yes,
Yeah.
baby. So he's stuck like glue. I know it's very difficult to understand, isn't it? I mean, I won't mind, but, you know, if you ask him a simple question like, what do you want for your tea? It's a struggle getting an answer from him. Yeah, what are you having? That's what he says. So that's that. Anyway, Jane Celt got creative and she's sent me some pictures she's been doodling. So Jane started off by drawing some pictures of messages that she would like to leave in the plant pots. And she says we ought to leave these in. Stop thief. Stop thief. And then she carried on and got a little bit more. Stop thief, it's stealing me grief. She got a little bit more creative and made these, which I thought were right natty. I thought we could perhaps make some of these, Brenda. Look, little plant stalks with snails and slugs and things on, with little messages that say do not steal my plants and stop thief and leave this leaf. So I thought they were very good then. I'm just laughing because Christine said that Kevin must have been very quietly persistent to live with me. Oh, cider you won. Just remember who does your brew it too. I don't know. So well done, Jane. I think they're really good then. I think we could perhaps have a bash at making some of them. What do you think, Brenda? Do you think we could get creative? Would you like me to put that blind down? Because my face looks like it's going darker and darker and darker. Just a second. Slight intermission while I just... That's better. We'll just alter the contrast a little bit, shall we? That's better. can see you now. I don't want to squint because I'll look all strange if I squint, even more strange than I already do. Just make a nice cup of tea, that cup. A nice cup of tea and a slice of cake.
What's to do with the maker?
Yeah, get on with you. So, anyway, I think that's the story of Inspector Clueless. Moving on. I did actually get an email from somebody who had a good suggestion. And I can't remember who it was. Now then, where is it? Where's my poll? Yes. James had put a post on Facebook, and he was talking about the sour sweets test, and he said that his ideas for the sour sweets test, I think we've just about exhausted that one. We're not going to be many weeks. We've got a few left, but we're not going to be many weeks until it's run out. Could we do crisps or biscuits? Now I'm slowly getting, you know, fatter and fatter and fatter. But I thought we could do crisps, biscuits, chocolate or sweets. Do something a little bit more interesting. Unless you've got any other suggestions. We could do top tips, reviews, whatever. We need to be thinking, people, in advance about something that we can do on Brew at 2 that's funny.
Illegal.
That's your test. Yeah, and fairly legal. Fairly legal. So that's your test. If you can think of anything, drop me a message. The email address is underneath in the description. It's Jane, Jane, at therabbitpatch.co.uk. And I'm not doing bush tucker trials, John. Aye.
And I can always fill in the gaps. Or
Electricity.
there's a sale on.
Don't you think I've done well, Christine, putting up with this all this time? All this time. Yes, Keith, I think we'll have a go at those flower tags. We'll have a go at them, and we will take some photographs and show you on Brew at 2, and we'll send them to Jane as well. So, speaking of being creative, jelly deals. Goodness me. Goodness gracious me. Funny, I said, not make me gape. Speaking of being creative, Christine has also sent me some pictures of what she's been doing, and these are some of her pictures that she's drawn. I'm going to try and hold this up without dropping it. Christine wants me and you to sing There's a Hole in My Bucket.
Oh!
You.
Oh dear.
Dear Liza, these are Christine's pictures. They're very good. Oh, that's muffin. Wrong way. That's another one that she's done. These are all pen and ink. I think they're very good. Very good pictures, aren't they? That she's drawn.
Wow.
She's quite creative, is our Christine. That's, if I turn that round, it's going to go that way, isn't it? Operator error. And there it goes. And then that's Jane's. That's Jane's snail. That's Muffin, our little doggy woggy. I know you'll all be sat there thinking, I want to see the dog. Yes, so Jane's, Christine sent those in. And then on our favourite subject, I got a scam from Bill Thornber. I'm sure you will be again, Christine, if you applied yourself to it. It just needs a little bit of practice. It's like riding a bike, you never forget your skills. And Bill said that he'd been to the chemist for his prescriptions, and included with the tablets was a leaflet that might be helpful against scammers. and the internet address is thinkjessica.com. And I had a quick look at it, and it is it is quite a good website, so I'll put the link to that in the description below. Now, the funny face that I've just pulled when I went oh like that, I've just seen a message come up from Keith of the plant pots. It's Brenda actually, and she's sent an email to Inspector Clueless to tell him that another plant has gone missing since it was put in last week.
I shall get them.
Inspector Clueless.
When?
Time,
I shall speak to her later.
details, times, dates, ETA, etc.
She'll interview her later.
He'll interview you later, Brenda. You'll enjoy that.
I must go. A crime has been committed.
We've actually got a magnifying glass. He'll be using that soon. He'll be looking through that. Oh, has he got it? What you've got?
I have my own little helper. Wait. Sorry, I'm going. Wait, what does that one do?
Yes, that could be Kevin, couldn't it? Inspector Clueless. We'll rechristen that, T-boy.
Like him.
It does look like him, Fat Belly. Anyway, moving on. David says, "Keep up the good work. I might visit Vancouver one day." There's about as much chance of that, David, as snow in summer. I get altitude sickness when I go to Lytham. But it's lovely to see that people watch from all over the world, and the last one that commented was actually watching from Niagara Falls. I've got no idea where Niagara Falls is. I just know it's abroad. I think we ought to do, I just thought of something funny. We ought to do geography lessons, didn't we? And that could be quite amusing actually. We could have a world map on a board like these.
It'd be better than pin the donkey.
We could have a world map, and you can tell me places that you want me to look for, and I'll see if I can find them. Which would be really funny, because I haven't got a clue, honestly. I don't know what they taught me at school, but they didn't teach me any geography. So that was that. Anyway, speaking of geography, and I can't for the life of me remember what they were called. Can you remember me showing you those little seeds that I'd picked up that I said had come from around the other side of the world, on the beach, and they look a little bit like conkers, but they're not. Somebody had put a message on yesterday that they'd actually found coconuts on Russell Beach on 3 separate occasions, and she's curious to know whether they've come from Blackpool or whether they've come from some exotic foreign island. And things like that float are called drift seeds. Being serious, because the light and the bob, and they dissipate for ever such a long way. So these little things that I found that I still can't remember what they're called. Can anybody else remember what they're called? In fact, if I show you, I'll stand up, I'll show you. They're in my little box of treasures. I'll show you these. I bet you can remember, can't you, Eric? They look a little bit like conkers, and this has dried up quite a lot since I found sea bean. That's it, John. Well done. Well done, John. I found 2 in quick succession, and these come from the Caribbean and the other side of the world. They come ever such a long way. And coconuts are a different kind of drift seed. So what do you think, Bats? Do you think that they've come off one of the shies on the pier, Or do you think that they've come from the other side of the world? I'd like to think they've come from the other side of the world, personally. But if you find a coconut, please let me know. Please either email me or post a photograph on our Visit FYLDE Coast Facebook group, and we'll all have a look at it, because I'm quite interested in them. So that was that then. Right, so moving on. Shall we do points of view next? We'll do points of view. First off was Mark. I thought this was really funny. I anticipated reading this. So Mark sent me, if you remember last week, I mentioned what we all watch on the telly, because obviously, you know, a lot of us are still feeling the force of COVID and not going and doing as many things as perhaps you might do under normal circumstances. So we're all watching a lot of telly, aren't we? We're all watching a lot more telly than we perhaps might do. And I just happened to mention last week that it might be interesting to do kind of a points of view section. So I've got a couple. First off the ball was Mark Dodsworth. Are you ready? Dear Ms. Rabbit, I take the liberty of using Ms, as after watching your excellent broadcast today, I assume you will be sending Mr. T-Boy in training on his merry way. If you remember, he picked the phone up and started ringing somebody because he thought I couldn't hear him. Your excellent dealing with his frankly unbelievable, unprofessional behaviour has been noted. To the thrust of my missive, your points of view idea could not have come at a better time. Only yesterday I watched something on my TV that totally flabbergasted me with its poor quality, badly filmed, lack of storyline. The characters were unbelievable and frankly unlikable. The language left a lot to be desired, as did a totally unacceptable level of violence. I would say it was probably the worst thing that I've seen in many a long year, and I certainly will not be watching our family holiday video 2021 again. If this debacle is to be repeated in 2022, then the children certainly will not be part of the production, and neither will the wife. Thank you for allowing me to get this off my chest. Disgusted of Penge. Oh, that was really funny, that. I think that deserves a round of applause. Yes, it does, Mark. That's very good, that. So Eric sent a serious one in on the proms, which I don't know whether you've noticed is back on television anytime now. And I must say I do watch odd parts of the proms. It's quite interesting. I tend to prefer the quieter classical music to the sort of boom 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 drums and really loud. Makes me, I've got very delicate ears. It makes them sort of heard. So this is the 19th of August promenade concert that Eric had watched on iPlayer and named A Night at the Opera. So this might be awfully pronounced according to my appalling ignorance, but you'll forgive me for that. So one of my favourite operas is Gluck. Is that right, Eric? Gluck's comic opera Orpheus in the Underworld. I've heard of Orpheus and the Underworld, which, as we all know, has its main motivation the moral to be patient and keep one's faith. So we could all do with a bit of that, couldn't we? We were treated to the aria of Orpheus's Lament by the superb mezzo-soprano voice of Christine Rice, who was in the so-called trouser role of Orpheus. Gluck. Is that better, Eric? Gluck. He regrets submitting to the temptation to look back at Eurydice, consigning her back into the underworld, no pillar of salt like Lot's wife. Christine Rice delivered the pathos in this aria convincingly and movingly. We all know the aria, and what I heard was as good as I heard at the Sadler's Wells Opera House. I've heard of Sadler's Wells. Holding my girlfriend's hand. Eric, this is the family show, if you don't mind. So long ago that best before dates were written in Roman numerals. Does anybody else remember best before dates being written in Roman numerals? I am a traditionalist, and for me an operatic aria should be sung in full dress as it would have been presented on its debut. Gluck and the music's composer Offenbach, I've heard of him as well, I'm doing well, aren't I? Would have been shocked at Christine's outfit, which would have been appropriate for the president of the Women's Institute given the annual address. I am always disappointed in the modern sets created for operatic productions as well as the outfits. I listened to Christine Rice with my eyes closed much of the time, so I did not Google. And my laptop is not a box. It did not goggle, sorry, not Google. But that is my point of view. Well done, Eric. Very good. See, he's educating us. He's educating. He's educating. Oh, I thought that said. Bruce has said, more of a GNS person myself with a bit of Wagner thrown in, and I thought it said M&S. Oh, and you see, I'm not quite as ignorant as I look. GNS is Gilbert and Sullivan, isn't it, Bruce? You see, I'm not quite that daft. Anyway, I'm going to lower the tone now with my own points of view. Number one, has anybody been watching Holby City? I really like Holby City. It's one of the few dramas, shall we call it, that I actually watch, and I've been watching it a long time. I don't watch Casualty or anything else like that. And we're getting into this really complicated story where they're being ever so, well, naughty. And this woman's recruiting young girls to send off as sort of women of the night for older men. And it's getting really good. It's getting really good. So I just thought I'd ask and see whether... Oh, goodness me, we're going back now, Bruce. Yes, I used to watch Angels. June, lovely, what? Anyway, yes. So yes, I've been right enjoying that on a serious note, and that's on tonight. So I've got an appointment with that. Yes, we watch Coronation Street, EastEnders, and Emmerdale. And really, that's pretty much the only soaps that we watch, and that's all done over the top of either building wooden houses or my colouring book or my crossword book, and I can't just sit and watch television. It's just not right, is it? Anyway, I don't know whether any of you managed to catch a programme on Channel 5. Well, if you'd have heard us, we could have done Gogglebox on Saturday afternoon. You've never heard a noise like it in your life. Chrissy had videoed this programme. I can't quite remember what it was called, but it was something to the effect of 101 disgusting body parts on Channel 5. And she'd recorded it for us to watch at the weekend. Well, you've never seen anything like it in your life. It was an hour of pure disgusting entertainment. And the things that they were doing, they were squeezing the biggest spots that you've ever seen in your life, and there's all this stuff shooting out of them. And then we were looking at kind of, you know, people that had got spiders and whatnot in their ears, and then another man had got a leech living up his nose. Oh, they were disgusting. If you can catch it on Catch Up, I really recommend that you watch it, because it was just awful. And then the other one that we watched was
What was Eric saying about his operas?
the other one that we watched was Crisp Wars, and that was interesting. I am partial to a crisp. I must say I'm partial to a crisp. And I did learn something on that what's it's are just 1 year younger than I am. There you go, you see. There you go. What's it's just 1 year younger than me. So, we're on to birthdays now. Are you ready, people? Not just birthdays, because we've also got a little bit of sad news as well, and I always feel really, really awful delivering sad news when we've been acting daft. But unfortunately, it's just one of them things, isn't it? So I'd like to send sincere commiserations and dedicate today's show in memory of Andy's sister, Linda, who had unfortunately died a couple of weeks ago, and it's her funeral, I think, this week. And Andy asked me if I would, Andy Mullaney asked me if I would give him a shout out and a mention for his sister. So I'm sure you appreciate that we do genuinely send our commiserations. Changing the subject completely, it's Ian's birthday today. Happy birthday, Ian. Now you got double bubble. You got double bubble. Andy is normally on chat, Andy Mullaney. But he's not been on because of obvious reasons. He's been missing a few weeks. But yeah, it's awful, isn't it, saying happy birthday, Ian, and sorry, Andy. But I guess that's life, isn't it? Yeah, so Ian's got double bubble because it's his birthday today. So you got a message last week, Ian, and another one today, and he's in Senga's neck of the woods. He's in Fife. So I hope you're having a nice time, Ian. And the weather's being kind to you. And we're back to the iPad now. We're back to Laura's son. He'll kill you for this, Laura. You do realise, don't you? He'll be so unimpressed. This is Laura's son, lovely Laura. It's Oscar, and it's his birthday today. And it is the ripe old age of 17. Can you remember, folks, when you were 17? Goodness gracious me, I wouldn't want to be 17 again, really. So Oscar is 17 today, and he's 6'2" with size 12 feet. And apparently is a right good lad. He's a right good lad. Laura says he'll not make 18. Why is that? Because you're going to lynch him, or is he going to murder you and end up in jail? He's a right good lad and he's right helpful. So well done, Oscar, for helping your mum out. You'll get your reward in heaven. Right, so we're on to your favourite bit of the day. Now, I do believe, let me just get my tackle organised. Let me clear my throat. And I found these in my back box, which, as you can see, have absorbed quite a lot of moisture and gone quite gooey. So we're going to do these today. These are mega sour fruit pips. Deborah Stevenson, that's it, Joan, that's the one. Oh, she's a bad one. She's a bad one. That's what we're going to watch tonight. I've got an appointment with Deborah Stevenson. So, sour emitter, that's what I'm doing. So last week we did them. And this is another Jane Kelt production, this. And they were awful. I'm sorry, but I point blank refuse anymore with chili in, because they are just beyond awful. So that's a brain burner, and it says on the packet flaming hot candy. And if you remember, it actually stopped me from speaking. So Kevin will be requesting them. They were off the scale. They weren't as bad as zombie bombs, but they were near. Right, so I think we'll put them down there, just a little bit above zombie bombs. Oh, I meant to hold the pin. I don't know my own strength, do I? So we'll put them down there. So mega sours and zombie bombs are kind of the bottom. So I've been shopping while I was in Blackpool. There's a little tidgy tiny sweet shop that's right at the side. Well, I'm saying it's at the side. It's in those little units underneath the winter garden. So that big side entrance where there's that big curved sign above the door. It's like literally right next to that. So I've been shopping. So I did actually tell him why I wanted these. And said I don't want many. Can I have as few as you'll sell me? So I've got a mixed bag here. So these he called them sour plums, but it said on the bucket, it said on the bottle, a bucket is a packet in a bottle together. It said on the bottle, sour plums, Plums. And these are fruit flavoured mega sours, similar to the, exactly Jade, similar to the sour apples. So I thought we'd have to go with the fruit flavoured ones. We'll do them another day. We'll do them possibly next week. So today we're going to do mega sour fruit pips. Now I've come prepared to this event today somewhere. Got all my stuff here. I've got a plastic bag to decant them into. Sour plums. Oh, Brew says sour plums originate in his hometown of Galashiels. So there you go then. Laura, Kevin,
Hello?
says that T-Boy and T-Boy in training should sample the sours together live on air.
No way.
Right again.
Not a now.
So these are mega sour fruit pips, and I think what we're going to need to do is to split the bag. Ooh, they have gone sticky. They've gone all sugary and sticky, look. So if anybody wants a quarter of, ooh, really sticky sweets. I don't like sticky things. As a kid, I used to hold my hands up to my mum and go, sticky mummy, wash. She still says it to me now, and I'm 52. Right, I'll plonk them on there. Right, do we have any preference which colour you think I might like to go for? I've got my tweezers, because I don't really want to touch them. They're that sticky. And then I'm going to decant them all into this plastic bag, and I can stick them on the sourometer then with this. I think we'll have a green one. So these are mega sour fruit pips. And I think these are related to those that... Yellow? Somebody wants a yellow one. I think these are related to those Mr. Sims death pips that you were on about. A green and a yellow one, right, okay? Green and a yellow one. Oh, God, they are sour. I didn't expect that. Ooh. Mm. Mm. Oh, I didn't expect that to be so sour. Oh, they're horrible. Oh dear. Mm. Oh, they're awful. That took me quite by surprise, that. Do you want to try one of these, Kevin?
Yeah.
Go on then.
It's all in the mind.
Let's see what he makes of him. What colour would you like?
Purple.
I haven't got purple.
Who's delivered these to you then?
I think I might have bought them. I can't quite remember.
That would have them.
Apologies if somebody sent them and I've forgotten. Oh, okay.
What colour have you got?
I've got a green one and a yellow one.
Green and yellow?
Mm.
I'll have a red one then.
I need to be able to see your face. Play this game properly. I don't know how you're doing that. They're awful. Are you lying?
I thought if I went quickly. Nice, aren't they? Oh, your glasses are steaming up, aren't they?
I'm fucking up.
That's understandable.
Not keen on them then.
I've tried red ones, they're nice.
That took me by surprise actually, because to be honest, looking at it, I don't know what you thought, but I thought that they looked quite innocent. You said to look at them and think that they
What could possibly go wrong?
what could possibly go wrong? They're just ordinary sweets, and they were, oh, horrible. Oh, thank you, Carl. Carl's just, oh dear me. Obviously, the degree of suffering impressed Carl because he's just sent a super chat. Thank you ever so much. Oh, I wiped the tears away. Oh dear, no, I'm not from overweight. I didn't quite catch your comment. Something about, am I from Not End and Priesthill because I feel like I bumped into you around this way? No, I'm not, Carl. So that is even more worrying because there might be two of me.
Yeah.
I was mid-drinking tea there.
Well, now I've got the coating off and I've got down to the actual sweet in the middle. They're horrible. I shall put them in the plastic bag and we shall stick them on the thing for next week. Oh, dear me. Goodness gracious me. And everything take taste off. Oh. Right, my lovelies. I think that brings today's proceedings to a conclusion. So you know what that means, don't you? It's time for the finale. I shall put my spectacles on and then I can actually see what I'm actually doing. Shall we do the glasses as well? Shall we do the glasses with the bright? You see, I've realised that what I need to do is to put them over the top of my reading glasses and then I can actually see what I'm doing. That's it. Just got to make sure that they don't slide off my nose because we're going to end with a smile and a rainbow. Smiling is infectious. You'll catch it like the flu. When someone smiled at me today, I started smiling too. I passed around the corner and someone saw my grin. When he smiled, I realised I'd passed it on to him. I thought about that smile, then realised its worth. A single smile, just like mine, could travel round the earth. So if you feel a smile begin, don't leave it undetected. Let's start an epidemic, quick, and get the world infected. See you next week. Bye. Oh, thanks, Senga. Didn't quite. You should have done that a bit earlier. I'll take my goggles off. Oh. Now I'm going to go and do some work. I'll see you later. Bye for now.